Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. By Hashem, Rakah Kodash, double honor to the apostles, the elders, salutations to you sincere brothers, teaching in truth and in sincerity. This lesson is going to be entitled YAHAWASHI, initiating teachings of the Gentiles. Romans 11 and 13, for I speak to you Gentiles, and I is referring to Apostle Paul, and the Gentiles are referring to Israelite foreigners, inasmuch as I am the apostle of the Gentiles, I magnify mine office. The reason why Apostle Paul magnified his office because he was the apostle of the Gentiles. That's what he was born to do. Let's focus on magnify in the Greek.
Strong's G, 1392, doxazo, doxazo.
Let's focus on definition 4, example given. It states, to cause the dignity and worth of some person or thing to become manifest and acknowledged. So Apostle Paul was teaching these individuals that they were Israelites, teaching them the old paths, because their lineage went back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But when did this start? Galatians 1 and 11. But I certify you, and this is Apostle Paul, that the gospel which was preached of me is not after man. For I neither received it of man, neither was I taught it, but by the revelation of Yahawashi Mashiach. Meaning that Yahawashi dealt with Apostle Paul directly. For ye have heard of my conversation in time past in the Jews' religion, how that beyond measure I persecuted the church of the Most High and wasted it, and profited in the Jews' religion above many my equals in mine own nation, being more exceedingly zealous of the traditions of my fathers. But when it pleased the Most High, who separated me from my mother's womb and called me by his grace, to reveal his Son in me, that I might preach him among the heathen, Israelite foreigners, immediately I conferred not with flesh and blood. And all this is referring to that Apostle Paul did not doubt himself. He did not second guess himself. Once the Spirit revealed to him what he needed to do, he got on board. Now, before Apostle Paul started teaching the Gentiles, which were Israelite foreigners, that revelation began with Peter. Acts 10 and 1. There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band. He was an Israelite foreigner, a devout man and one that feared the Most High with all his house. And that's how we know he was an Israelite through the Spirit, because he was a devout man and he feared the Most High, which gave much alms to the people and prayed to the Most High always, showing you his faith. He saw in a vision, evidently about the 9th hour of the day, an angel of the Most High coming in to him and saying unto him, Cornelius. And when he looked on him, he was afraid and said, What is it, Lord? And he said unto him, Thy prayers and thine alms are come up for a memorial before the Most High. And now send men to Joppa and call for one Simon, whose surname is Peter. He lodged with one Simon a tanner, whose house is by the seaside. He shall tell thee what thou oughtest to do. And when the angel which spake unto Cornelius was departed, he called 2 of his household servants, and a devout soldier of them that waited on him continually. And when he had declared all these things unto them, he sent them to Joppa. on the morrow, as they went on their journey and drew nigh unto the city, Peter went up upon the housetop to pray about the 6th hour. And he became very hungry, and would have eaten, but while they made ready, he fell into a trance, and saw heaven open, and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet, knit at the 4 corners, and let down to the earth. Verse 12, wherein were all manner of 4-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air. And this trance is referring to Israelite foreigners, and they were likened to 4-footed beasts of the earth, wild beasts, and creeping things, as well as fowls of the air. And there came a voice to him, Rise, Peter, kill and eat. And Peter said, Not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. And the voice spake unto him again the 2nd time, What the Most High have cleansed, that call not thou common. This was done thrice, meaning for a confirmation. 3 times means a confirmation. And the vessel was received up again into heaven. Now while Peter doubted in himself what this vision which he had seen should mean, behold, the men which were sent from Cornelius had made inquiry for Simon's house, and stood before the gate, and called and asked whether Simon, which was surnamed Peter, were lodged there. While Peter thought on the vision, the Spirit said unto him, Behold, 3 men seek thee. Arise therefore, and get down, and go with them, doubting nothing, for I have sent them. Then Peter went down to the men which were sent unto him from Cornelius, and said, Behold, I am he whom ye see. What is the cause wherefore ye are come? And they said, Cornelius the centurion, a just man, and one that feared the Most High, and of good report among all the nation of the Jews, was warned from the Most High by an holy angel to send for thee into his house, and to hear words of thee. And this is the reason why Peter received this trance, because it was time to begin teaching the word to the Gentile foreigners. Then called he them in and lodged them. And on the morrow Peter went away with them, and certain brethren from Joppa accompanied him. And the morrow after they entered into Caesarea, and Cornelius waited for them, and had called together his kinsmen and near friends. And these were Israelites as well. And as Peter was coming in, Cornelius met him, and fell down at his feet and worshipped him. But Peter took him up, saying, Stand up, I myself also am a man. And as he talked with him, he went in, and found many that were come together. And he said unto them, Ye know how that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company, or come unto one of another nation. And these are Israelites. Let's prove that.
Strong's G 246, alophilos. Alophilos.
All right, when you break down that Greek word, the first
Strong's
portion
G
of that
243, allos. Allos.
and it means another. Now let's focus on the second portion of that term.
Strong's G 5443, phule. Phule.
It states a tribe, and the NT, all the persons descending from one of the 12 sons of the patriarch Jacob. So if you read this term within the context, and he said unto them, Ye know how that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company, or come unto one of another nation. And all this is referring to is Israelite foreigners, and we just proved that through the Greek. But the Most High have showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean. Why? Because they were Israelites. Therefore it came out unto you without gainsaying. As soon as I was sent for, I asked therefore, for what intent ye have sent for me? And Cornelius said, 4 days ago I was fasting unto this hour. And at the ninth hour I prayed in my house. And behold, a man stood before me in bright clothing, and said, Cornelius, thy prayer is heard, and thine alms are had in remembrance in the sight of the Most High. Send therefore to Joppa, and call hither Simon, whose surname is Peter. He is lodged in the house of one Simon, a tanner by the seaside, who, when he cometh, shall speak unto thee. Immediately therefore I sent to thee, and thou hast well done that thou art come. Now therefore are we all here present before the Most High to hear all the things that are commanded thee of the Most High. Then Peter opened his mouth and said, Of a truth I perceive that the Most High is no respecter of persons, but in every nation he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him. And in every nation is talking about Israelite foreigners that were in that Gentile state of mindset. The word which the Most High sent unto the children of Israel, preaching peace by YAHAWASHI, he is Lord of all. So before Apostle Paul started teaching the Gentile foreigners, Peter taught the Gentile foreigners, beginning with Cornelius. This was the gateway for Apostle Paul. Verse 36, the word which the Most High sent unto the children of Israel, preaching peace by Yahushua Mashiach, he is Lord of all. That word I say ye know, which was published throughout all Judea, and began from Galilee after the baptism which John preached, because that word had to go to the circumcision first, which were Israelites who knew they were Israelites who were still living in their landmass. How the Most High anointed Yahushua of Nazareth with the Holy Spirit and with power, who went about doing good and healing all that were oppressed of the devil, for the Most High was with him. And we are witnesses of all things which he did both in the land of the Jews and in Jerusalem, whom they slew and hanged on a tree. Him the Most High raised up the third day and showed him openly, now to all the people, but not to all the people, but unto witnesses chosen before of the Most High, even to us who did eat and drink with him after he rose from the dead. And he commanded us to preach unto the people and to testify that it is he which was ordained of the Most High to be the judge of the quick and dead. To him give all the prophets witness that through his name whosoever believe in him shall receive remission of sins. While Peter yet spake these words, as he was teaching Cornelius and the men that were assembled with him, the Holy Spirit fell on all them which heard the word. And they of the circumcision which believed were astonished, as many as came with Peter, because that on the Gentiles also was poured out the gift of the Holy Spirit. For they heard them speak with tongues and magnified the Most High. Then answered Peter, Can any man forbid water, that these should not be baptized, which have received the Holy Spirit as well as we? And he commanded them to be baptized in the name of the Lord. Then prayed they him to tarry certain days. So before Apostle Paul's teachings to the Gentiles, it all began with Peter. When he taught Cornelius, that was the gateway for Apostle Paul. However, YAHAWASHI initiated it. And let's prove that. John 4:34. YAHAWASHI said unto them, My meat is to do the will of him that sent me, and to finish his work. Verse 35. Say not ye, they are yet 4 months, and then cometh harvest. Behold, I say unto you, lift up your eyes and look on the fields, for they are white already to harvest. And he that reapeth receive wages, and gathereth fruit unto life eternal, that both he that soweth and he that reapeth may rejoice together. And herein is that saying true, one soweth and another reapeth. I sent you to reap that whereon ye bestow no labor. Other men labor, and ye are entered into their labors. And us now, as prophets and young teachers and young preachers, we are entered into other men's labors based on the spirit of YAHAWASHI. Verse 39, and many of the Samaritans of that city believed on him for the saying of the woman which testified, he told me all that ever I did. Now this woman was a heathen. She was an actual Samaritan. However, the Samaritans that did believe, these were Israelite foreigners. He told me all that ever I did. So when the Samaritans were coming to him, they besought him that he would tarry with them, and he abode there 2 days. And the reason why Yahawashi abode there 2 days, because they were Israelites, and he was teaching them. And many more believed because of his own word. Only Israelites believe in his words, and said unto the woman, now we believe, not because of the saying, for we have heard him ourselves. So they're saying, these Samaritans who were Israelites, these Israelite foreigners, they're saying, hey, we believe on Yahawashi because based on what he said, not based on what you had told us, we listened to him and we believe based on that gift the Most High had bestowed upon them. And know that this is indeed the Mashiach, the Savior of the world of Israel. Now after 2 days he departed thence and went into Galilee. So in a nutshell, before Apostle Paul, that revelation was given to Peter, and the gateway was through Cornelius to begin teaching the Israelite foreigners. However, Yahawashi, captain of our salvation, initiated teachings of the Gentiles. Lord willing, you was edified. Shalom.